Quarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into the happy hour right here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. I am Rico Heller, and I am joined not by Nick, but by Nathan Brennan.
What up, what up?
How are you, good sir?
I'm doing all right. It's been an emotional day.
How's your last day of all your works going?
Well, I won't lie. I choked up a little bit on air today, so that was kind of a low moment for me. But it's okay.
Perfect.
Emotion shows that you care, and that's a good thing. And I'll probably get emotional too for my last kind of sign out on the block. So be prepared for that. But that, again, it's a sign that I care. It's a sign that Nebraska is a good place, and it's a sign that it's full of good people. So it's all good. It's all good. We're getting through it.
I hope you cry.
All good things come to an end, though. That's what I keep telling myself. I don't cry though. I choked up.
You're gonna cry.
I choked up. I'm not gonna cry. The problem is
the thing is. You're honestly lucky DP isn't here. You would have cried.
Why is that?
He has this way. He would have brought you a gift. He would have made you
and it's
cry.
Always so sentimental.
It would have been a Virginia Tech Bruce Smith jersey.
right. It would be something like that.
And you would have been like, "What? I don't." And he would have been like, "Take it and hang it up in your house."
Yeah, like, I appreciate you. Good luck. Yeah, and then I would lose.
It would have worked perfectly. But hey, this is the happy hour 93.7 The Ticket. Get in touch with us because in the second segment we will do a tip jar. So I need everybody to participate. Ask Nate any type of question that you want, and he will answer it if it's appropriate.
If it's appropriate, we need to preface that.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter on the Starter Heyman Zooters live video stream. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok as well, because we're on there, 93.7 The Ticket. Like, subscribe, everything on YouTube. Like and share our videos on TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. But I want to start this off. Nate's talking about getting emotional. You want to know something that's going to get Nebraska fans emotional? Satterfield, the offensive coordinator for Nebraska. He gets up to the podium, and I'm taking this directly from Mike Schaefer. I would say our very own Mike Schaefer, but he's not.
Yeah, kind of.
He's not ours, but he's ours.
We're claiming him.
That the offensive coordinator for Nebraska says, and I quote, "Prepare for huddles and fullbacks." How's that make you feel, Husker fans? Because Nate's got this grin on his face.
I love it. Listen, you don't even have to be a Husker fan. You just have to be a fan of good football. I mean, that's just you hear that and you just think football.
Are fullbacks good football, or is it just?
Yes, it's good football.
I don't know about. Look, okay.
Of course, it's good football.
I'm not saying it's bad football, but I'm not just gonna say, "Oh, this is good football." It's football. It is also just football. You can have good football without a fullback.
You can, but there's
smash mouth, old school,
right.
Big Ten football with a fullback.
Right.
But you're not seeing the Pac-12 except for Stanford and Utah using fullbacks.
Yes, but I think that
who in the ACC uses a fullback?
The history of
outside of
I
Pitt,
think because Pitt does sometimes. Pitt's kind of gone away from that now. Georgia Tech they were the last Power 5 to run the triple option.
Yeah,
so that was kind of cool.
Georgia Tech used to use a fullback,
but even Georgia Tech doesn't use this triple option now. I don't know if anyone does.
Well, now Nebraska has a former Georgia Tech quarterback, so it's good.
Maybe Virginia Tech should bring back the fullback. But no, I mean that's
Marcus Satterfield.
When you look at the history of Nebraska and you look at their bread and butter, I think that is the one thing that can stand the test of time is smash mouth power football. I've said multiple times I don't think a triple option is going to win you a national championship in today's college football, but it's been proven time and time and again Smash Mouth football will.
Mhm.
Look at Alabama in the early 2010s. That's how they won.
A fullback would have helped Nebraska win a decent amount of games, or at least score more points in
I
the
agree.
previous multiple seasons. Because how many times, and look, I'm sorry, I know Professor Rick is calling me a Debbie Downer. This might be even more Debbie Downer, but I'm trying to bring it into a positive type of light. If Nebraska had a fullback in many of those games, how many times in the red zone between the 5 and the end zone was Nebraska in a shotgun with running back to the side
don't
of the
even get me
quarterback?
started.
How
But
many times with 1 yard to go is
Right.
Nebraska in the shotgun? Nebraska has a fullback line up in the I formation, either hand it off to the fullback, hand off to the running back, follow the fullback, or just QB sneak. You got a fullback and a running back pushing you forward. I mean, that's even more.
yeah,
So, you know, there's
you still got to have a good offensive line, though. And I think that's part of like the frustration is you can have the best fullback in the Big Ten, but if your line stinks, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you might get another yard or two, but you still got to have a good offensive line. Also, Rico, I don't know if you saw in the Rose Bowl, Penn State came out in the wing tee.
yeah, twice and scored both times.
That was awesome. Now, I don't want to speculate, but if you're throwing a fullback out there, throw out the wing tee. Why not? It was awesome. It was glorious.
Look.
And see,
If
Rico,
it-
that's my
if it-
point.
if
That is
it-
good football.
But the thing is,
That is good football.
If it works, it's good. If they came out in the wing tee
and lost like
and
7.
lost yardage,
Yeah.
people would be like, "What are you doing? Nobody runs a wing tee anymore. Line up in the shotgun and throw the ball. What are you doing?"
Oh, it was awesome, though. It was glorious.
It was fantastic, and that's what Nebraska. Look, not the wing tee, but Nebraska is going to get back to some fullback type football, according to Marcus Satterfield.
All
We're going to
right.
be a pro. Like you said, we're going to be a pro style offense, and I understand Husker fans, when you hear pro style offense, you cringe a little bit. But hey, according to him, they're going to huddle, pro style, have a fullback. He mentioned his first play with Tennessee Chattanooga that he called here at Nebraska when they played. It was a handoff to the fullback. It gained 4 yards. That's how much he loves the fullback. He remembers that.
Well, I just want to see a quarterback under center, too. When's the last? I mean, I know we saw it a few times last year, but you don't see it very often.
How many times have you seen it? And this is just kind of something that you hearken back to. Quarterback under center, hands the ball off, and then just stands there. It doesn't do anything else. Like that's great. You see your quarterback not throwing himself into harm's way, running an RPO where somebody's going to light him up, even if he
Get
doesn't
out of the
have
way,
the ball,
dude.
just because he's in the way. Quarterback hands it off and is just standing off to the side.
Let me ask you
Avoid
this.
injury that way.
Let me ask you this, Rico, and I'll ask the text line too, 402-464-5685. When's the last time Nebraska lined up under center for a QB sneak? Because I don't know if you saw TCU did it a lot.
Multiple times.
In their game against Michigan, you had the guy, I think it was a receiver or
Yeah,
a
because
tight
they
end that was
should've-
behind him and
because they
shoved him.
should have used a QB sneak against Kansas State, and they didn't.
I know. And then there's like, all right, we're going to prove you guys
We're gonna-
wrong.
See,
which-
we can do this.
good for you because you won a playoff game.
At
When's the last time
Nebraska?
Nebraska did that? Because since I've been
Casey?
here, I haven't seen. No.
Did Casey sneak? Casey didn't sneak.
And if he didn't, and I'm not considering a shotgun snap is not a sneak. Don't give me that.
Okay, so Adrian did sneak.
That's not a sneak. That is not a sneak.
I don't know. Maybe Adrian had a sneak in there somewhere at some point.
Under center.
I think so.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not. That's the problem. I'm not sure. And I don't know if Tanner Lee did. I know for a fact Tommy did.
Okay.
I don't know if Tanner Lee ever did. I'm not sure about Adrian.
Dexter says Adrian did and fumbled.
Oh, no.
No.
And again, look, I'm just going through Twitter right now because, again, Marcus Satterfield is talking to the media right now, and then Nebraska's defensive coordinator, I can't remember his last name, Tony.
Defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Tony White.
Tony White is going to speak after him. So I'm just scrolling through Twitter looking at the comments that the media are currently posting right now. Michael Brentz also says that Satterfield mentioned we're going to use tight ends, which is something that Nebraska fans have been hoping for the longest time. If you know anything about Nebraska in quite some time, they have talented tight ends. And they
first
never,
team all Big Ten.
never find a way to use them. He was first team all Big Ten. He still was not used as well as he should have been used.
No.
Nebraska has always had talented tight ends, but they've never used them to the full scope of their capability. So to hear Satterfield mention tight ends, fullbacks, huddles, pro style, running the ball, I'm sure Nebraska fans that are listening to this press conference and not listening to us are over the moon. Because look, I would say that is more Nebraska style football than we have seen.
Yeah, and that's why I'd be interested to see, or I'm interested to hear, I guess I should say, Tony White talk about the defense, because I probably have a few more questions. Because to be honest with you, Rico, I hear about this 3-3-5. They talked about it a ton during bowl season. A lot of successful defenses. TCU, Syracuse,
Yep.
who is one of the better defensive teams in the country.
Michigan and JJ McCarthy would talk about running all over the TCU
The
3-3-5.
How'd that work out for you?
Nope.
And I'm just curious. I'm curious to hear more about it. I'm curious to hear what he expects on the recruiting trail, because that's the thing too, is, and Jay's talked about that quite a bit, is that if you run a 3-3-5, you have to recruit to it. You have to have the personnel, you have to have the athletes on the field. So I'm assuming that someone's going to ask him about the 3-3-5, and I'm assuming someone's going to ask about recruiting. So that's what I'm more curious for. But I think our offense is at least headed in the right direction, coach speak wise. Gets you excited.
Look, they
you have to be excited.
Yeah, I mean they what did Rule said they didn't want to win the offseason. They just want to win games. So right now, unfortunately for Rule, you're winning the offseason. I don't know if that's a problem for him.
Well,
but with your
the
recruiting class being in the top 25, getting 3 4-stars, all on the defensive line, I believe, actually. And then the some of the coaching hires have been considered big wins, some more head scratchers.
Right.
And then right now from Satterfield, and depending on what Tony White says, you're winning with your coordinator hires, and they're winning with exactly what they're saying to Husker fans. So even if you didn't want to win the offseason, it seems as if you're doing that at a very high level right now.
Well, you kind of knew that, at least after his first press conference. I think that's when you could kind of grasp the situation and say, oh, this guy knows how to talk to people, and he's recruiting at a high level too. And I'm assuming that persuasion, how to talk to people, goes into that. Mm-hmm. The question is now, Rico, unfortunately with Husker fans, I think that they've heard it so many times that now if it doesn't work out, it's okay, we're done with this. Because I think that each offseason, at least since I've been here, it's okay, we're going to buy back in. We're going to buy back in. Eventually, you're going to get beat down so many times that you can't buy back in. So it's like, okay, well, look, let's see progression this year.
I thought that was me this last offseason.
I know.
And then they reeled me back in. They reeled you back in. Got me back in. And with a new coach and a new staff and new voices being heard, it's, to me, easier to buy back in than it is if you've heard the same voice for many years tell you the same things over and over again, right, and still seeing no progress on the field. Hearing somebody new talk about things and talk about how they're going to, run their offense, run their defense, run their team, how things are going to go inside of the walls of the training facility, it just makes you feel a little bit more, I can't even think of the word. It gives you like a calming feeling, kind of.
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, a breath of fresh air where you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this guy, we haven't heard from him before. He's saying all the right things. Maybe this will work out. But then, once the season starts, once everything gets real, you hope that they stick to what they were talking about. You hope that Satterfield saying, we're going to run the ball, we're going to use tight ends, we're going to huddle. You hope they keep doing that. Or is it going to be the first time they run into some adversity, they start slinging the rock all over, or running a much faster tempo of offense? They get the fullback out of there because why would you need somebody in there who's not going to really provide you with any type of danger in terms of stretching a defense or anything like that? You hope they stick to their word and everything comes together in the right way. And I mean, wet blanket, you're completely right. Everybody wants to run the ball, but not everybody can run the ball. And that brings me back to what I was going to talk about in this first segment. Nebraska's got some big boys coming in this weekend, and we'll get this real quick before we hit a break and we go to the tip jar, which, again, I want all of you guys to join in. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Text us a bunch of questions. But Nebraska has some big boys coming in. A transfer tackle from Stanford in Walter. I'm bad with last names today. I don't know why. I'm extremely bad with last names today. Walter,
the kid from Stanford?
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll find it in like 2 seconds. Walter Rouse.
I think
I'm going to say Rouse.
I think I said Roos and Brian Munson said Rouse. So I would go with Brian Munson.
So the offensive tackle transfer from Stanford, Walter Rouse, and the offensive guard transfer from Baylor, Micah Mazzulla. both visiting Nebraska. Walter also visiting Oklahoma and Iowa. We actually just talked to Brian, and he said he felt pretty good about 2 of the 3 visitors this weekend, also including the wide receiver transfer from Virginia, who you said yesterday was the real deal.
He is the real deal. And I hate to say that because I hate Virginia, but he's the real deal.
If Nebraska gets these 2, and again, we were talking to Brian Munson of On 3, he talked about them as road graders, especially Micah Missoula, who was a former 3-star, went into Baylor and just kind of showed out, a road grader. So if you're talking about running the ball, if you're talking about, being a physical team, these 2, and Walter with 39 starts in his career at Stanford, would be perfect gets. But if you think about it, and this is something that I've thought about, if you get these 2 and they become starters, you've got 4 starters on your offensive line who did not play for you last season. And that's including Nori because he was suspended last season.
Right.
You would have Walter at left tackle, Nori at left guard, Ben Scott, the transfer from
to
Arizona
say, started
State
28
center,
games.
and then Micah Missoula at right guard, who was at Baylor last season, and then whoever you decide on your right tackle. And the offensive line unit is built on not camaraderie, on everybody being on the same page, trusting each other, and knowing what the person on either side of you is going to do. So having all of those starters coming in, possible starters coming in from transfers from other schools, is going to take some time to gel. Hopefully it happens in the offseason, but in the first couple of games, if it seems a little hectic, that could be a reason.
I tell you what, though, it is
cohesiveness. Thank you, Pete.
So impressive to see what they've done on the offensive line transfer portal. Like I agree. I think hopefully they get one of these guys. They've already got Ben Scott, who's going to step in that role. Nuri's going to be coming back. What's crazy to me, and I talked about this extensively when the season ended and everyone said, okay, we need to go to the transfer portal for offensive linemen. Those guys don't grow on trees. There's a reason that the number 1 transfer portal lineman from Rhode Island, who played at Rhode Island, was getting offers from every team under the sun.
Everywhere.
Like, offensive linemen do not transfer often. That's not a regular occurrence. So if you can get an elite offensive lineman in the transfer portal, which Nebraska's already done, Ben Scott, who started 28 games. He started over 2 seasons, which is huge.
Granted, he only started 1 season at center.
Right. But he's played on the offensive line at a Power 5 level. It seems like Walters is a similar boat. He's played over, I believe, 40 games as a starter. 39, excuse me. Like that does not happen. So for Nebraska to not only notice these guys, get them in the building, have them considering Nebraska is huge. And it's something that, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't expect. But they're doing something right because, again, these offensive linemen that transfer don't grow on trees.
No,
it doesn't happen.
So I think a part of that, and this will be the last thing I say before we go to break and get to the tip jar, I believe, now I could be wrong, both of them are from the northeastern area of the United States.
Which
has become something of a like a bingo card, like a spot on a bingo card. If you look at a recruit and it's just like, oh, from the Northeast, check that off the bingo card. That's exactly what Matt Rule and his staff are looking for, because it seems like that's an area that they're going to hit extremely hard in recruiting and transfers and what have you. So that's going to do that for the first segment here on the Happy Hour. Again, tip jar coming up next. Get your texts in. Any type of question. It can be silly. It can be serious. It can be weird. Me and Nate will answer them. Maybe we'll even bring Austin in. 402-464-5685. Join us for the tip jar on the Happy Hour. Up next.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Lincoln Stars open up 2023 with a Western Conference showdown against the Fargo Force, January 6th and 7th. Get to the Icebox to cheer on the Stars for the first time in the new year as they battle the only team ahead of them in the conference standings. Purchase your tickets now online at LincolnStars.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build a professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you are a loved one or struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you pay excellent benefits, flexible work opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841. There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Pillar Restaurant Group is proud to announce the full opening of our brick-and-mortar venue-at-home store, Lincoln's new premier specialty grocers. This store is home to our brand new Butchery by Venue. Get the finest Nebraska steaks, hand-cut in-house by our butcher, prepared for our restaurants, and available for you to take home. With hand-selected specialty seafood, charcuterie, wine, bourbon, and liquor options. Come in today to see what we have to offer at 70th and Pioneers in the Pioneer Woods Shopping Center. Open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
Let me ask you a question about the tip cup, because I had a little thing with the calzone guy.
With Nick Sainert.
What did you just say? Go put $1 in the jar right now. Are you serious? Yeah, now. Damn it.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
A big old chocolate ass in MetLife.
What? On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy Hour, one of the greatest rejoins I've ever made. I love it. It's one of my favorites. This is the tip jar right here on the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket. I am joined by Nathan. I am joined by Austin, and we are here to answer almost any and all of the questions you have. They have to be appropriate.
Within reason.
They have to be appropriate. They have to be something that we can say on air.
This is a family show.
Yeah.
It's a family show.
Mike, I'm calling you out. Not answering that question. Mike. So, starting off with Bone. Wet socks or warm toilet seat? Choose one.
Wait, what?
Wet socks or a warm toilet seat?
Warm toilet seat, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I hear a lot of people complaining about warm toilet seats. I don't think it's that weird. I mean, unless somebody just got out, then it's a little weird. But
I mean, what do you expect?
I'm at
Just
like
don't think
there's
about it.
there's like there's a gas station somewhere in Iowa that has heated toilet seats. It's fantastic.
It's kind of cool, actually.
It's fantastic.
It's like a hand warmer,
exactly,
kind of.
but for your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, wet socks is just terrible.
Wet socks are the worst.
And they're tough to get off. No, come on.
Not a fan.
No.
Not a fan
Feet
of
are
wet socks.
pruny and that just looks weird.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
No, I don't want pruny toes. Don't give me that. Nyla. Okay. Nyla says, "Who are your favorite listeners?" Whispers, saying anyone.
Oh,
but me
you,
is
Nyla.
wrong.
You.
You don't have to lie.
No, I'm not lying. I don't like doing the favorites game. I like all of our listeners. All of our listeners are great. But I will give Nyla a shout out though. She did bring me some champagne the other day. So as a going away. So I will give a shout out to Nyla. That was awesome. I appreciate you, but I appreciate all of our listeners.
We
can't play favorites.
I don't have any favorites unless
Good.
you bring me something. Then you will be my favorite for as long.
Well, that
as-
is fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you give me something, you'll be my favorite. That being my favorite comes with absolutely nothing, but you can be
Your allegiances are purchasable.
very, very purchasable.
Rico can be bribed.
100%. Craig says, "Hold on, it's loading." Nope. What is going on here? No, Craig. That's not. Nope. Nope. Hard pass. Bill and Bennett. You guys think TCU can beat Georgia Monday night? I'll be rooting for the Hypnotoad to show his ugly head.
I'm telling you right now, I think TCU will win.
Same.
I've already said. I told everyone, and Jay Foreman owes me a tomahawk for it. I told everyone that TCU is going to shock the world. They're going to beat Michigan. Everyone called me a fool. They called me a clown. They said I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, guess what? TCU beat Michigan, and now they're going to beat Georgia.
Don't worry, I was on board with you.
I know you were.
We were both
I know
Bighorn
you-
Frog fans.
I love TCU. It's coming to them, though. I can't bet against Georgia right now. When Georgia turns it on, no one's better than Georgia.
Georgia broke
TCU
me.
can beat them. Georgia will win.
No, Georgia broke me because I said there's no way that Ohio State keeps it close. I was like, Georgia is different. They're going to run them out of the building.
Michigan smacked Ohio State.
When
And
Georgia had to play, look how Georgia played. Kirby doesn't let him come out that flat again.
still not that great. They still almost lost to an Ohio State team that was
That is
down
just as
many,
talented.
an Ohio State team that was down many weapons, and their defense is the worst that it's been in years.
What does
And the
Texas
offense did
say?
its part, right? The defense is
And Georgia couldn't do anything. No, I'm not taking
Georgia.
it. Give me
TCU.
Give me TCU.
What do they say? Hook 'em, horn 'em.
I don't think that's what it is. That's not.
That's
I
what
don't think
we'll
that- I don't
go
think that's what they say.
Is that not right?
I don't know what they say, but I don't think.
I don't know what they say. I wish they had like a, like the wolf pack. I wish
They
the
do.
TCU had something. TCU have something?
Don't they do this?
Is it like a
Yeah,
claw?
They do this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a claw?
No, I don't think it's. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What
Is that what it
something
is?
like that.
Just
I don't
little
know what it
horns.
is.
Horn 'em.
Horns. That's not what they say. That's not it.
Let's make it a thing.
Little Hypnotoad action. Disc golf Jake. Need this question read in a Harry Carey voice. I can't. Do you have a Harry Carey voice?
What does he say?
If the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it?
If the moon were made of what?
Spare ribs.
If the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it? That wasn't too bad.
I don't think that was very Harry Carey.
Harry Carey? Because he's the old Chicago Cubs announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
But he always sounded like he was drunk because he was.
Because he was. Right.
Respect.
No, I wouldn't, because the moon is very important to our ecosystem. Although I do
Also
love-
very far away.
Yeah, I also do love.
What's your
ribs.
guys' biggest conspiracy theory? I'll go off the rails a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Did we land on the moon?
100%.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Yep.
You're telling me right now you were sure about that?
Yes.
All right. I'm not saying anything.
Because you don't.
I'm not saying one way or the other.
If you're
I'm not
asked-
saying anything.
The thing is,
I'm just curious.
If anybody asked you that question, it's because they don't.
No, I was just curious. I wanted to know.
Whatever, man.
We landed on the moon.
I was just curious.
The only country to do it, by the way. Have some American pride.
I was just
Exactly.
curious. I was just curious.
Why would the rest of the world lie about this?
You tell me.
Russia was in a space race with the United
tell-
States.
you tell
and
me.
even admitted that the United States landed on the moon.
You tell me.
There's nothing in it for them. That's just an embarrassment.
Everyone said that was a terrible impression. I tried.
Let's see. Oh, burnt cheese. This is an older question, but still a very good one. Are there more doors or more tires in this world? It's tires, and it's not close.
That
How many houses have tires on them?
That doesn't matter.
How many houses have doors in them?
18-wheelers only have 2 doors and 18 wheels.
But again, how many more houses are there than cars?
There are more cars than houses. Bikes, roller skates, toy cars. Gears are wheels.
Gears are not wheels.
Gears are wheels.
No.
Porta potties.
Yes, porta potties have doors.
That's all.
Trailers that carry porta potties.
Okay, so everything comes back to porta potties. That's the only way that we can decipher a door outside of a building.
There's more wheels.
Well, I'm trying to think of a door that's not in a building, or I guess technically on a car.
Yeah, there's more wheels. How many toy cars are there?
Yeah,
think
true.
of how many doors are in a house.
Oh, that's a good
And think if that house has children, how many toy cars does those children have?
Oh, trains too. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Wheels.
Technically,
Hotels, apartments, hospitals. Thank you, burnt cheese.
Airplanes have wheels.
But see, that's all buildings. See, basically doors come down to some type of building.
Yeah.
I'll give you tires. That's fine.
No. It's tires. 100%.
I'd probably agree with
that. People are talking about warmed toilet seats. Did you try chili and cinnamon rolls?
I have not. And the thing is, too, I had a cinnamon roll today.
With no chili.
With no chili. I haven't tried it yet. But see, this is the thing is Nebraska fans have put some egregious things on the internet where I've seen people have a cinnamon roll and put the chili on top.
Some people eat it that way.
I've seen it.
Alton Brown did that.
It scarred me. Yeah. Oh, God, no.
Some people dip their cinnamon roll in the chili.
Come on.
Some people just eat the cinnamon roll and then eat the chili.
See, I could eat it separate. I think when you're pouring chili on top of a cinnamon roll, that's where I draw the line.
Nathan.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
Nathan, you want to know something?
I
also haven't tried it.
Really?
I've lived here for 29 years.
Really, Rico?
Never done it.
Okay. You have to get your wife on that. She'll probably make you some chili and cinnamon rolls. She probably had it.
Oh, she definitely has.
Yeah.
They used to have homemade.
What you guys having for dinner tonight?
Homemade. Her grandma used to make them. I think her mom did it too.
Okay.
They say it's delicious. I've just never done it.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's delicious. I just think combining the two might be a step too far.
I wish Nebraska was known for something different in the culinary world.
Runs
like
us.
chili and cinnamon
Runs
rolls
us.
are they really known for it like nationally though?
I would say so.
Like everyone brings it up, but I feel like chili and cinnamon rolls is the Nebraska thing.
I mean,
like everyone can
technically-
make it home.
Technically, the Reuben was created in Omaha.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I feel like there's some different origin stories.
Look
on
it
that
up.
one.
Omaha, Reuben.
Just like a pork
I would much
tenderloin.
rather claim that than chili and cinnamon.
There's also
All I'm
Omaha
saying.
steaks.
True.
Okay, Nebraska didn't invent steak.
No,
Rico.
but Omaha steaks is
Okay, yes,
is
I
known.
understand
They
that.
didn't invent steaks, obviously, but they're known for like you go Omaha steaks. You go to Nebraska.
But you got to
there's
think like a
Omaha steak.
runza is original to Nebraska. A steak is not original to Nebraska. Corn,
but the best. Corn isn't original to Nebraska.
But ours is the best, right?
Well, there you
But it's the
go.
best.
If that's what we're saying, there you
Steak
go.
and corn.
There you go.
That's a Nebraska staple.
How about that? It's a man's meal. Steak and corn.
Not gonna read
Kool-Aid. That is true. Bill and Bennett. Yes.
Hastings.
Kool-Aid was invented in Nebraska.
How many? Nope, not gonna read that one. There's so many. Somebody asked the thing again about the Wet Sox and the toilet seats. People making fun of you for your Harry Carey. This unnamed texter kind of agrees with you. They landed on the moon, but we can't make it back in modern times. They can. They just have no reason to. Why would you go back to the moon?
I'm not
Why would-
saying
no. Why
it's
would you go
happened
back
or it
to the moon?
hasn't. Are
Why
you
would,
sure?
Why would you go back?
Are you sure we have the capability?
Yes.
Are you sure?
If they can launch
I
people
wanna-
into if they can launch people into space and control a metal death box in space long enough to connect it to a space station with people living inside,
But this
they
is
can
people...
land on the moon.
Yes, but people are living inside. To land on the moon, you have to step outside of that structure.
People do
Which
space
they did
walks.
in 1960.
People do
Are you
space
sure
less
about that?
power than the phone sitting there.
Are you
People
sure about
do
that?
spacewalks regularly at that space station.
Let me ask you this: how come the American flag is blowing in the wind?
It's not.
There's no wind in outer space.
It's not.
You seen the video?
Yes.
It is blowing in the wind.
It's
There's
moving
no
because he's
wind on the
moving it.
moon.
He is moving it to plant it into the moon. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
I'm not. I'm not taking a side either way. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. No,
you are dug in.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
You're taking a side. You're the worst.
Texture's got my back.
On the rails are off. Kool-Aid, all this Kool-Aid talk. Somebody says forget Omaha Steaks. Come on, we need more questions.
It's the tip jar.
I could be wrong, but Nebraska invented Kool-Aid and Jell-O? I don't know about Jell-O. Kool-Aid, yes. Jell-O, I couldn't tell you. This person says, I literally work for General Dynamics, and the
supposedly
only way...
came from Leroy, New York in 1897.
Yeah, not Nebraska. Wait.
Go ahead and read that text, Rico.
This person says, I literally work for General Dynamics, and the only way we've been able to get back is unmanned. Prove it. I don't believe that you work for General Dynamics.
I was about to say, prove what? Because I want you to prove that we've been on the moon.
There's videos and pictures and
the burden of proof is on you for this.
And people who are there. Prove that we didn't.
So you're telling me
prove that we didn't.
You're gonna trust a video and a picture that we were on the moon?
Yeah. Are you not gonna? Do you not trust videos and pictures of history?
I'm not taking sides on this.
No. So you're telling me pictures and videos from that long ago you just can't trust?
Rico, I'm just saying that the video has the flag blowing in the wind. That's all I'm saying. There's no wind on the moon.
The thing is, if it's blowing in the wind, then it also wasn't recorded in a freaking studio.
Well, how would it not be recorded in a studio?
There's no wind inside.
Yeah, you get a fan.
Why would they do that?
Here, that's the wind.
Why would they do that?
Again,
they also know there's no. They also know there's no wind in.
The thing is, I'm not even the guy to say that we didn't land on the moon. I'm not taking a side either way. I'm not taking a side either way. I'm just saying I want explanations.
I'm giving you explanations.
I'm not taking a side because you know what? If push comes to shove, I'd probably say we landed on the moon. But notice I said a key word there. Probably.
Again. Why would Russia, who is not friendly with the United States at that time, admit defeat? Admit defeat in going to the moon. If they knew that it was faked, they would have blown it wide open.
Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not.
You sound like one.
I'm not. No, the only conspiracy that I actually do believe, I don't know if Idaho is real. I've always said that. I'm a firm believer in that. Has anyone ever met someone that's from Idaho? Not someone that's been to Idaho. Name me someone that you've met that is from Idaho.
I went to college with somebody from Idaho.
Are you sure?
Yes.
They were originally born. They are from Idaho.
That's what they told me.
Are you sure?
They had an Idaho.
I'm just gonna say the same thing.
They had an Idaho driver's license.
Okay.
Where do we get all our potatoes from? Wait, you think we ship them from Ireland? No. Idaho is just one large potato.
Okay. No, I believe we probably landed on the moon.
All right. We got to get to break. There's a lot more texts. We'll just read them in the break and make fun of each other, and they make fun of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your texts, all of your participation. It's fantastic. Nathan's final happy hour, Nathan's final tip jar. We'll be right back with the final segment with Nathan Brennan here on the happy hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road. Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie-cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day with loads of new inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC Terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're putting special pricing on those right now. This is the time to check out our GMC Terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at a discounted price. So please stop in or check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few passing clouds, but overall a fairly nice January day. We'll see an afternoon high of around 40. Winds out of the southeast at around 10. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 20. Only a high of 29 tomorrow with a few passing snow showers possible. Winds turning out of the north at around 15. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're joined by Nick Sainert, who's back from the presser.
Gentlemen,
how are you, sir?
I'm good. I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself? Turn yourself up. Are you plugged in? You're not plugged in. There's your problem.
Because somebody stole the
oh, no!
the adapter. Are my JBL?
Here, hold on.
They're over here. Somebody stole the adapter off of that.
It's over here. It's okay. We're flustered. We're panicking, but it's okay because it's Friday, which means it's time for one thing.
We got to dance.
Narco, baby.
Narco.
Well, so in our defense, we were a little preoccupied during the break. I didn't check to see if the headphones were plugged in
It's
or
okay.
if they were adapted correctly or
There
anything.
are a couple
'cause
things going on.
We were distracted during the break. PS5s. were at
Don't
the
announce
topic.
it.
I'm not going to.
Don't announce it.
Love
We were
PS5
talking
talk.
about PS5s.
Love PS5
and
talk.
We were talking about Idaho for a little bit.
talking about Idaho. I came in.
Idaho's. Somebody texted and said Idaho's fake. We get our potatoes from the moon.
I opened the door and
Why
I said,
not?
"What the hell is going on?" Right, because right as I exited my car in the parking lot, I just hear Nate go, "Have you ever met anybody that's from Idaho?" And Rico just goes, "Yeah, I went to college with somebody." Are you sure? Are you sure? I was like, this is. We go off the rails quite
I need
a
a
bit.
birth certificate.
We go off the rails quite a bit on this show from this time slot. Whoever's talking, this time slot's just an off the rail kind of show.
It really is.
Say what you will, but you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it.
It's still gonna go
We're
off
still
the
gonna
rails.
go off the rails.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Nate, don't
will
get me
you
wrong,
ever?
like, we're gonna miss you, dude. But like,
will you ever find
will-
someone that questions the reality of Idaho?
it'll probably be better. We don't need somebody that questions the
No,
reality of Idaho.
because guess what? We love all the states.
Yeah, we don't discriminate against states.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Which is
Oh,
more
really?
real, Idaho or the moon?
Do we know that the moon is real?
Which is more real, Idaho or Maine?
I've actually,
I actually know somebody that goes to college in Maine.
Really?
Yeah,
1011's morning anchor Brian Shaver used to live in Maine.
What about all those other
He
small,
loved Maine.
tiny baby states out there?
Delaware.
Delaware, Rhode Island.
No. Ella Deladon played at Delaware, or not at Delaware. but
Elena
it-
Deladon.
Elena Deladon.
I thought it was Ella Deladon.
No,
My bad.
Elena.
I apologize.
My grandpa was born in Rhode Island. He's a Yankees fan.
That's weird.
Okay.
I was just I was letting you know because you'd probably question it, but then when you heard that he's a Yankees fan, okay, checks out.
Not really.
Just
I
because
thought
he's born in Rhode Island.
I thought he'd be a
you
Red
born in
Sox
Rhode
fan.
Island, you have to.
Yeah, I thought he'd be
Be
a
a
Red
Yankee.
Sox
Well, you
fan.
know, Rhode Island's only like 50 miles wide or something like that. It's
Yep.
something crazy.
Is it? Yeah.
Like if you look out your window, you can see across the entire state. That's
that-
that's not true.
That is not true.
That's not true.
Is that because
That's stuff. That is what I won't miss.
That's not true.
Is that because the Earth is flat?
Okay, that's
We're not doing this, Kyrie.
I think that one might be a step
Look,
too
hey,
far.
find the curve.
You can if you fly.
No.
If you go on a plane, you'll see the curve.
Find the curve.
That'd be kind of
That's the go-to.
It is kind of crazy though to think about what if the Earth was flat and you just keep on driving forever and ever. Obviously, there's
and then
water.
you fall off.
Where do you fall off into?
You
Well, there's
fall
only
off
so
into
much Earth,
space.
so if it's a circle and you make circle like
But
that,
it's- that's
there's
flat.
one point.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you fall off into space.
Where do you fall off?
Into space.
So there would be a location.
Then you'll end up at the moon at some
So
point.
there would be a location that's right next to space.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't
If
end
the
up on
Earth
the
is
moon.
flat, yes.
Does somebody have like their backyard is space?
Right.
Like I built a
That'd be
house
sweet.
on the
Just
edge.
talk about
We had to
property
teach our kids
value.
don't go more than 10 steps out the front door.
Kid
Or out
runs
the
out
back
the door. Kid runs out the door. Up. Well,
We lost little Johnny. He's in space now.
everybody has like a rope tied around their waist. Get back over here.
Let me bring it back to
The texter
to
said,
Earth.
"Did you know 67% of facts are made up on the spot?"
I believe that. I thought it was more like
That's a
60.
fact.
I thought it was more like 69, but yeah, 67 sounds about
There
right.
you go. But
Okay.
there he goes.
Hey, how was
Um,
the presser?
It was good. Fullbacks are back.
Yes.
Yes, me and Rico were talking about that.
Yeah, fullbacks are back. That's
Fullbacks,
exciting.
tight ends, and huddles.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because you have Nebraska going to this slow, methodical, orchestrated offense while Wisconsin is going air raid. Wisconsin's hiring everybody to go air raid,
You know what this means?
and Nebraska's going fullbacks, tight ends, offensive line, huddle.
Do we know who their quarterback is yet? Because Graham Mertz is leaving.
Mordecai.
So,
Mordecai.
No, it's Mordecai, and they also got the Evers, Nick
Yeah,
Evers
Nick
from
Evers.
Oklahoma.
Oh.
They got both of those transfers, but
Interesting.
Mordecai is like 49 years old by now. He's
Yeah,
as
I was
old as
about to
Scott
say,
Satterfield.
yeah.
Marcus-
Morgan.
Yeah, he's
Brad
as old as
Davison.
Marcus Satterfield.
So you know what's going to happen? Obviously, this is the only logical way that
it's
this
probably
works.
just going to start breaking down.
Is Wisconsin loses 7 straight to Nebraska.
Yikes.
Sure.
Because
That'd be fun.
Nebraska plays Big Ten football.
Exactly.
Nah. I mean, that was interesting. Then from Tony
Wing
White,
T.
the whole black shirt tradition
Oh, did
obviously
he
came
mention
up.
that?
Somebody asked him about it,
As they should.
and he was like, "Listen, I am not going to tell you what I'm going to do because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I need to talk to people to figure out how it's done right
I respect
and
that.
what we need to do to make it right." He goes, "Because I've heard a lot of things about them getting taken away, them being distributed in fall camp, them being distributed in the middle of the season." He's like, "I've heard all these stories whatever it may be, I need to make sure that the people that did it the right way are influencing me and my decision on how we're going to operate. He's like, but I think it's one of the best traditions in all of college football.
Shout out Jay Foreman.
As everyone says.
Did he talk about the 3-3-5?
All of the first 12 questions were about the 3-3-5.
What'd he say?
He's the way he talks about it is Sip even asked him a question like, is it for sure that Nebraska's going to run a 3-3-5? And he goes, no. He goes, no. Whatever it takes to win, we're gonna do whatever it takes to win. He mentioned how it's important that they have a scheme that is adaptable to their players rather than recruiting players that's adaptable to their scheme.
I love that.
Right? I mean,
love
amen.
that so much.
We did hear that from Mark Whipple last year.
We did
Exact
until
same thing he said.
It is.
Did he? Yep.
I don't remember that.
Listen, Austin, it's day 4, and you're kind of turning into a realist, man. That's not what we do. No, I'm just
Look, you know that we're all about Kool-Aid.
No, but here's the deal.
It is from Hastings.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be honest, though. Like, that's he said something along the lines of during his, I can't remember if it was an example, but he was giving a hypothetical situation to where if Nebraska was, for example, loaded at defensive line and had the 4 of their best defensive players are up on the defensive line, he goes, you could sit here in the offseason and say, yeah, last season we played the 3-3-5. We showed up in the 3-3-5 personnel, but 4 of our best defensive players were defensive linemen and guys up front. So he said, next year we're going to switch to a 4-2-5. He said 3-3-5 is more importantly about personnel and just different fronts and how you're multiple. You can show so many looks through that 3-3-5 personnel, whether you want to switch to a 4-2-5 where you have 4 down linemen, or if you want to go back to that 3-3-5.
These are things that I love to hear.
It sounds like they're going to be adaptable, right? And Tony White's talked about that. I also, speaking and being in the rooms with Eric Shenander, do we need to take a 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to let you finish.
Go ahead. Pause for 10 seconds. Station ID.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, so I was thinking about this, or he was kind of talking about. I mentioned this with Sipple too. Like, we've been in the rooms with multiple coordinators, and Sipple has obviously been in more rooms than I have, and things like that. From today, and yes, it's day 1 talking to the coordinator, so I suppose take it with a grain of salt. They're much more personable, especially Tony White. Much more personable. Like, and that's not to say Mark Whipple was a mean dude or like rude or you didn't want to talk to him away from it's not like that at all, because they were always willing to have a side chat for 3 or 4 minutes or whatever. But it was just interesting in the way that they came out, they presented themselves. It just really aligns with, once again, what Matt Rule has done through his first couple weeks. So when you talk about guys kind of being on the same page, you hope that everything that we are seeing right now in December, when the games aren't being played, shows up and is still reigning true in fall when the games are being played and maybe get hit with some adversity.
How did it feel to have the defensive coordinator look into your soul?
Yeah, that was awkward. I didn't mean to take a picture right when he was looking at my phone, but I'm sure it'll be used throughout multiple games in the fall.
It's a good reaction meme.
It is a great reaction meme. I posted on Twitter, though. It's just a picture of Tony White looking straight at me, and I have my phone up. And it's always awkward because it's just like I click it, and
then you actually look at it.
I looked at the picture, and I was like, oh god, he's looking right at me. But it is.
He's
what
like,
it is.
put your phone down, young fella.
Yeah, exactly. But I tell you what, people, I don't know if the people that were sending me DMs on Twitter or anything are listening right now. People got to stop taking pictures of me at the press conferences.
More pictures of you?
I'm getting sent pictures on Twitter and DM'd pictures on Twitter of me looking down at my laptop, like typing, me looking at it with my arms crossed. I got one today that was like, I had my arms crossed listening to Tony White, and they're like, man, you looking like a real big bodyguard right now. I was like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? We don't need to.
You got to go in happier, Nick.
You
Put
got
a smile on your face.
I'm thrilled to be there.
Smile.
Great.
That's why you do what I do, and you just stand away from it.
The only problem with
I'm short
Memorial,
enough. I hide behind everybody.
That's
There with
true.
a blank smile.
The only problem with Memorial Stadium today was with the official visits going on. They had Sirius being played on loop, and I got there about 12:15. And there was just this video being shown throughout all the screens and the Jumbotron and everything. And within the press box, they had Sirius being played on loop. And
So
I
how many
sat
times
there.
did you hear Sirius?
It was horrible. Like it was
horrible.
No, it was bad. By the 23rd time of hearing Sirius
in a row,
nonstop,
I get that.
I'd
there
still
was
probably get a
no
little,
stopping.
I'll probably get a little excited.
Okay, give or take, it's a 2-minute song.
It is.
So you got there 12:15.
I didn't count how many.
But we're gonna math this out.
I walked into the press conference room up on the 6th floor at about 12:53.
Was it the beginning of it, or did it?
I stopped. I tuned it out.
Well, the stage started at the beginning.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
time did you leave?
Well, so it would have been 12:53 because they didn't have it playing inside the press conference room. So 12:15 to 12:53.
So
But
that's
no,
38 minutes
It's-
and 19 times 3 Sirius.
It is not this is it wasn't the entire song either because it was looped up to a video like it was the tunnel walk.
So it's just a
Yeah, I was just like, what is going on?
intro part.
I'd probably get pretty excited.
And then it'd be like, and then they'd fade that, and then it'd just kick back up.
Oh,
again.
see,
And we're
that's hype. No, you get me
It is-
excited,
it was hype
Nick.
the first 6 times.
All right.
But
you also got rid of Narcos, which you put into the rundown after what, like 5 shows?
Yeah. No, I got
you get sick of shows or songs quick, Nick. You gotta accept
I
it.
will. Okay, I love Narcos, and we
Narcos
will
is
play
great.
it every Friday. But he's not wrong.
Nick,
Especially
Nick is very sick of Narcos
the-
every time.
the Rutgers game. Every single
every dead ball
stop of
It was
like,
Narcos?
every
Okay.
single time.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, at Rutgers.
Yeah,
yeah.
and you could hear it
Or
over the broadcast.
So that's where your frustration with Narcos
yes,
came.
Yes, and there was one. Oh,
okay.
And even at now, I love high school football.
They
I
played
love
at the Lincoln Stars game.
I love doing play-by-play for high school football. But when you're playing that at every third down or out of every timeout, we just gotta stop. And it's just like Narcos, and it's getting like all the little kids just like yeah.
Well, you guys don't
And all the
remember.
little kids are like airplane trumpets. I'm
You
like,
know
all right,
the
we
song
gotta
that started
rein
that,
it in.
that they played it like every single down was turned down for what? That's what
Ooh.
started that trend.
Yeah.
You remember when that song first came out, it was the only song you heard.
Yeah.
And that song I got tired of. I'm not tired of Narcos yet.
Shots was played
You
in
can always
every
play-
basketball game
Yep.
imaginable.
Yep. Shots. All I do is
Go
win.
River Jump.
All I do is
Yeah.
win is the one that
That one needs to be
always
played
gets
more.
played. at
Black
when
and Yellow
Nebraska
needs to
win-
get
or
played
when
more
everybody
too.
wins.
Black and Yellow,
But
was
that only
awesome.
works for teams that
Yeah.
have black and yellow.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't work. That won't work here. It'll work in Iowa.
Do you guys ever?
That is true.
Do you guys when you're just like driving and you have a road trip? Do you ever just like go on Spotify or Apple Music? I don't know. Maybe Apple Music doesn't have this. I'm a Spotify guy, but where you just search 2009 best hits.
Oh yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
let it shuffle, and you're
You just
nostalgic.
go to. I just go to.
feeling
back.
See,
Oh, it's
I always.
unreal.
I don't. I do 2000s.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. I forgot about this song.
Akon.
I get
People
all.
forget
Akon.
Akon's run.
Akon.
I
One
do
of a kind.
2000s,
Lil Wayne.
and I get me
Yes.
all the Missy Elliott. Love it.
Yeah, you're old.
What it wait.
Lil Wayne.
Narcos is Tommy Trumpet. Timmy
Timmy
Trumpet. Timmy Trumpet.
Which and it
The
was
hell's Tommy?
Timmy Trumpet was so.
He went to a
sweet
Mets game.
when juries. or
Yeah,
not
and then they
Jury's
went
Familia,
downhill after that.
They completely collapsed.
When Edwin Diaz kept on coming out, that was the best.
How much do you think that guy has made off of just that song? Because does he have anything else?
It's not just his song. He's just there for the trumpet. Like it's not
Yeah.
his song.
Oh,
yeah, no,
really?
he's just there for the trumpet.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That
is, like,
dude's made a lot of money off
Estimated
that.
net worth of $4 million
Wow.
just because you can play a trumpet.
on one
Go
song.
ahead, you play it.
One
I
song.
can't. I can't. I used to play the alto saxophone.
Well, if you were any good at it, you could have made.
I just stopped.
$4 million.
practicing. No, I just stopped practicing. I feel like I was decent.
You gotta
played in the-
appreciate someone that can play a saxophone, though.
Saxophones were fun.
Saxophone is
It was
big
fun to
time.
play the saxophone.
I want
It
to play
just-
the piano, but like certain songs.
You are so basic. No, I'm just kidding.
But like
I just want to play
certain-
piano.
Like certain songs, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I beat any of you Guitar Hero.
1,000
though.
miles.
Tell you right now.
100%. I need that one in my life.
Yeah, but we just gotta stop. All right,
We really do.
this show
It's
is off
okay.
the rails.
Well, that's kind of what it was. It started on the rails. We were going straight
Yeah.
football. We were talking
We
about
were.
the presser. We were talking about the big boys visiting. And then we went off the rails, and it was a fun time.
Mark quote tweeted the tweet of Tony White looking at me.
Yeah.
And said, "That's the look of a man who just heard you that you don't eat bacon." Do we think Tony White was listening to the show yesterday?
Yes, Tony White, big happy hour fan.
I should have talked to him.
Who? Yeah, Tony White would be a big happy hour fan. Marcus Satterfield seems like a
Marcus Satterfield came up with like that little Southern drawl and everything, and I was just like, man, this guy definitely was at South Carolina.
He seems like a either early break or old school.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
Nobody listens to On the Block.
Yeah.
But they might
after you leave.
Yeah.
That's right. So, all right. Well, since I guess our names are on the show, Rico, we got to close this out.
Yeah, close it out.
That'll do it for us this weekend. Shout out to these three for covering while I was at the presser. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys on Monday.
Adios.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador